listening to another tribute to the spaceman, Gary Bell, from space, 2004. This episode, we're just going to continue on with part 2.
In April, apparently he called off some of those Homeland Security National Guard hanging around the Golden Gate Bridge. So, something may happen there. The Golden Gate Terminator Bridge seat. I don't know. Possibly. I heard that from somebody.
What about Congress? Where the people's representatives are? That would actually do this, John. If there was an attack there, say like a suitcase nuke that they used in Bali, or the one that they used in Madrid for the Philippines. What if that was used in Congress? You could suspend elections for as long as you wanted.
Aaron Marshall would be no problem with anybody in America. And you have absolutely no trouble with the Senate passing any emergency bills, because the Senate is not really representative of America. It is become corrupted. What the early pioneers of the American Constitution worried about, having a body that became made up of elites. It's noticed on the American Senate that most of it's made up of millionaires. And some of them have their fingers meddling in the Federal Reserve. And someone can tell me that that bank is owned by the people, and someone can tell me that the interest rates that are set, that all levels of government own in this country, and that all three parties answer to, they all talk about debt. Tell me, really, can't we, in some way, control our monetary policy? I think that's something that should be talked about, and I suspect that it won't be talked about, and I suspect that, in the end, we'll all get back to commodities, or so we're told. Anyway, the Prince of Darkness, I suspect that's electricity. Good night.
Mike, you're on with the Spaceman. Talk radio for guys, Mojo Radio, AM 640. Hi.
How are you tonight? Okay, I was just calling about this Royal Bank thing, but someone kind of...
That was funny. The Prince of Darkness is electricity. It's funny.
Connected the dots for me. Mm-hmm. Okay, basically, we've just been tested when all the...
40. Hi.
How are you tonight? Okay, I was just calling about this Royal Bank thing, but someone kind of connected the dots for me. Mm-hmm. Okay, basically, we've just been tested. When all this goes down, then they're just going to shut the bank down completely, take everything. At first, I thought it was just a virus, and I was told it was a virus.
Are you a Royal Bank employee?
No, not at all. But I have friends that kind of on the inside. We kind of keep track of all the stuff I've talked to you before. Mm-hmm. And anyway, so I was told it was just they're upgrading the systems, and someone got in with virus. But actually, if you think about it, they just shut it down to see what would happen, how everyone would react. Yeah, so
hey there to those tuning in. All I see is ham.
Next time this happens,
yeah, I believe viruses are one terrific excuse.
Yeah,
for no service.
Exactly. So they did it with the biggest bank in Canada. Mm-hmm. And what's been going on is I know a couple government guys, and pretty much the public has been getting double transactions. So we went to a restaurant the other night, and my fiance's card, swiped it through on internet, and like the actual transaction took place at say 7 o'clock. When we went in to update the bank book the next day, another transaction took place at 11, and their excuse was, you must have went there again. That's all they could say. Meanwhile, what's happening is they're inputting it manually.
So someone put it in twice,
right? But this is happening with everybody. Mm-hmm. So people need to be paying attention to that. So I talked to a friend of mine who's in the government, and he said that it's only happening with the public. It's not happening with government employees. So
or the major clients of the Royal Bank.
Exactly. Right. Exactly.
It's only happening with the little guy.
Right. Exactly. And it's just to keep us occupied. So basically, they're just saying this is happening, but I think they've just tested us like the blackout last year. Mm-hmm. Right? So when they shut it down finally, we're going to be, and it'll be up and running in a week and then 2 weeks. And I mean, they told us it was going to be up and running on Wednesday.
They said it was just a 2-day glitch.
Exactly.
And it stretched into now, what is it, 7, 8 days?
8 days. Mm-hmm. Right.
Remember when Rogers went down? It went down in Toronto here. School was turned off. People couldn't go to school. People couldn't go to work. And just because Rogers network and I had free different network on Freedom, and everyone was asking me to use my phone. It was hilarious.
Yeah, the other thing I wanted to mention, I guess 2 callers ago was talking about the fences going up in the state. If you notice in all new subdivisions, and they have these great big sound barriers now. When I lived in a town not too far away, we had just little metal sound barriers. They're almost like aluminum going along with 401. Every new subdivision now is concreted in.
It's almost like a bunker.
Yeah, and they're doing well. And a brother of ours. And what they have is they're completely surrounded except for 2 entrances. It would take no time for someone to come in and drop 2 big slabs and have a garden entrance.
And lock that right in.
Right.
Remember martial law, FEMA, and look what they did to Palestine and Jerusalem and Israel. All those, there's certain roads that go right into Jerusalem, and other roads that take roundabout ways to get in there if you're in other districts that are not Israeli. So they got this already set up in terms of like prison cities where you can't get out of certain districts.
And in the middle of this subdivision, and I think it's about 8,000 houses, right directly in the middle, there's a roundabout, and they're just erecting a tower, and they're saying, oh, it's just a clock tower, and you can walk up and view. And I was looking at it, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, you can walk up and view it all right if you had 5 or 6 soldiers up there with guns. Mm-hmm. So, I think it's just something people need to consider.
And it's been a great call, Mike. Thank you so much. That was very enlightening on some things that are touching people very close to their pocketbook. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's the Spaceman on Mojo Radio, Talk Radio for Guys, AM 640. There's been rumors on the internet, and there's also been pretty high-level position people from government agencies come out and say that something big is going to occur soon. This will be a global event, and it could be an economic collapse, just like my last caller was suggesting that the Royal Bank is testing.
Listen
a
up,
reaction
crypto people.
To no availability of your funds. It could be a cosmic event, like an asteroid impact.
Done by holographic.
The way they've been showing us on Deep Impact and Armageddon, the movies. And
a small nuke. All you need is a holographic light in the sky, and then a nuke going off somewhere, a small one.
When Worlds Collide, which is an older one. But I mean, they have been programming us for that. And now we also have The Day After Tomorrow.
If you like that movie, The Day After Tomorrow, the original was The Day After, and it shows what happens after a nuclear war goes on or a nuclear explosions in certain areas, and it takes place in the United States. So take a look at that movie, and it's a very, very well done movie to give you a true understanding of what happens. Then they have The Day After Tomorrow, which is just the nuclear winter, which is cold air, cold. Whew.
It just seems to me that they're hammering the message hard. Something big soon. We have 2 elections coming up. We have the presidential election in America in November, and the end of this month we have our own. More change in leadership. MI6 in Britain has just changed its leadership as of May 6th. And the CIA director has just resigned. Stephen, you're on with the Spaceman, Talk Radio for Guys, Mojo Radio, AM 640. Hi.
Hey, Spaceman, how you doing?
Good.
Okay, I just wanted to talk about the Canadian electorate and who's prepping them to vote and how they're being groomed to vote.
Terrific.
Yes, because your previous caller, George, was down on Harper. But, we're now being governed by the euro. And the French, who used to have 5 francs dollar, now the dollar is worth, the euro is worth 1.5 Canadian. You have French citizens investing in Quebec. They're invested in this country, they can buy real estate, they can't vote, but they want official bilingualism. Who really is the worst off? Canadians are completely ignorant of what's really going on.
So fill us in, Stephen. What is going on?
Well, you have Canadians. I mean, according to George, if it were up to George, he would vote Quebecois if he could.
Well, let's leave George out of it and what he's going to vote for. Just tell me what's going on. What's your view?
I think Canadians.
Welcome into everyone. Thanks for watching and listening in to tribute to Gary Bell here, Spaceman from A View from Space. And similarly, interesting information has to do with exactly the present day, what we're going through. Cyber attack, what will bring in this new reset for the global quantum financial system to come on board. And they're trying to get their Rothschild Bank put into Iran. They did it to Afghanistan, Syria, Iraq before, you know the drill.
They're unaware of really what's going on. And what's going on is they should vote for Harper, because if you vote Liberal, it will definitely be official bilingualism at the provincial level. I've lived in Quebec, and I don't think Canadians have a clue of what Quebec is all about and what Quebecers are all about.
I lived there for 10 years.
I lived there not as long as you, but I've lived there recently.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not Canada. It's a very poisonous place. And look at what Mr. Lapierre was saying this past week. Nobody could have said that of anyone of Quebec.
And so you think the only man that's going to lead us out of this problem is Harper?
Well, I don't think Mr. Layton has a chance. I don't see it's the
only. So what's your two evil?
And Mr. Martin is just fulfilling his father's ambition, and he's obliged to do what they want because he's in Quebec. He'll be no different than Mr. Mulroney.
But Stephen, don't you think that no one man will call the shots for any country? I don't care where he is. There is someone else that pulls his strings. Don't you believe that?
Well,
Do you not know that we open our parliament with a black rod every time we open parliament?
Yes, but the point
is... And it has the order of the garter on it?
The point is...
That's the point.
This campaign to steamroll us into official bilingualism will definitely happen if you elect the Liberals than if you were to elect the Conservatives.
Okay, you've said that, and let's just say it a couple of times. Thanks for the call, Stephen. This is Spaceman. Hi, Stan. You're on with Space. It's talk radio for guys, Mojo Radio, AM 640.
Hey, Space. Thanks for taking my call. Two things. Earlier this year, I emailed you a chart of the Dow Jones Index.
Saw it.
Right, and I
loved it.
Oh, really? I said, look back like 2-3 years, level 10,600 was really strong resistance. Well, ran just up to that like earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
So we're at kind of 10 below 10. It's like 10.2 now.
Yeah.
It might go to 10.4, but there's no way. My point is...
That's all artificially propped up.
Oh, yeah. Half the trading on the New York Stock Exchange is program trading. Even on the website, it says that. So like each day, how many of the trades are programming? Programming, you will get the level, computers start buying it. And no level, they start selling it.
Right.
Completely rigged. Second point, it was like over 2.5 years ago.
I just want to make sure that all that all that you're saying, my listener grasps, Stan, because we're flipping around from politics to the economy and that. What Stan is saying is that computers are actually now doing the buying and doing the selling, and when they reach certain marks, they buy or sell.
Correct.
Go ahead, Stan.
Yeah, I can send you a link from the New York Stock Exchange website that tells you each day how much trading this program is completely artificial.
Right.
Yeah, it was over 2 years ago that I heard that Harper was sent to Bilderberg, and I think he just taken over from Stockwell at the time. I thought, well, he's really lucky. Is that like a complete unknown? Why would he be sent there?
Right.
Now we know why. And Now magazine, or the one on the newsstands this week, I think page 20 has got like a huge thing about Harper. I think he said in the past pretty scary quotes. He flipped that right now. Just the human civil rights, and he wants to get rid of the Human Rights Commission. He thinks that's an attack on our freedoms.
Well, they always disguise it as it's going to benefit you.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
So checking out magazine. So yeah, what do you think? You think he'll get in? I mean,
I think Harper's been earmarked. Yes.
Yeah. And why else would he go to Bilderberg? Why would they want him there?
That's right. They want to fill him in. They want to program him. They want to get him online.
Yeah. I'll send you some more charts if you want. What's your
And anything that you have that you would think would be pertinent to give to my listener, you send me.
What email?
Email is spaceman@mojoradio.com.
Okay, consider done.
Thank you so much, Stan.
Thanks. Bye.
I got friends in many places. Hi, Peter. You're on with the Spaceman. It's Talk Radio for Guys, Mojo Radio AM 640. Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing?
All right, I'm fine.
Good. I wanted to ask you a question about the voting process. We're going to be having to vote soon. If you put down on the ballot, instead of marking down a particular name for a party.
Yeah, you have to mark it on black paper, see?
Right, how about if you get the liquid paper idea?
That would be my solution, yes. Or a white pencil crayon.
Right, now instead of writing another name, how about if you write down no confidence vote?
Yeah, I have that on.
Hey there, all I see is ham. I hear what you're saying. I hope I have enough cryptocurrency to escape the system. Yeah, I hear you. Well, you got to play the game, right? Both sides. Maybe get a little bit of, old 1967 silver coins so you can barter with those. Get a little bit of a bag of rice, some water, and learn how to grow some food and buy some land. And then at the same time, you can live off your yield, what you make from staking your crypto, and have a good time without too much worry. Besides your own emotional worries of your family and friends and things like that, right?
Last week, that's what I thought I would do this year. But I refuse to not vote.
Right.
Because even though I believe it is only symbolic, I believe that we have to keep going through that motion. Because if no one votes, then they just laugh at us and put anyone they want in at any time, and they can do it with any kind of black magic trickery. Like their touchscreen voting.
That's what they're doing now.
Exactly. Buy some land, right? And even buy adjacent land masses and land and rent that out to your friends that will be good for you and the neighbors, and build community farmlands that people can use to farm, and everyone, shares the extra zucchinis. No one can eat all the tomatoes and all the zucchinis. We have to share.
Doesn't matter who gets voted in. They're all following a particular agenda that they're supposed to do.
Yeah, and like I said about an hour ago, I don't get it why people will hold their nose and vote for someone they don't want to vote for when there's a choice of two they don't want. Write something else in. Write, like you said, Peter, no confidence in any of these guys.
Right.
Somebody else to choose.
Right, and that would make it won't make it a spoiled ballot.
Yeah, and everyone that believes that, did that, they would have no votes for the Liberals, no votes for the Conservatives.
That's right.
And they would have to hold the election again. Or they would just make up the numbers and tell us that, hey, you know what? Talk amongst yourselves, but none of you guys wrote anything in except for a handful. And they could blow that one by us too, the high hard one.
Exactly. Okay.
But you know what, Peter?
Yeah.
I believe justice for all is coming and it's on the way. Thank you.
Bye.
It's Talk Radio for Guys, Mojo Radio, AM 640. I'm a spaceman, fighting the information war. Information's my weapon. My enemy is the global elitists. Back after this. It's the space program.
Glad you like zucchinis too there, Matt.
Spaceman, Talk Radio for Guys.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Touching on the economy, touching on this imminent attack of global proportions that's been rumored on the internet and by high-ranking officials on the television. And covering a few other things too tonight. It's a shortened show because of overtime in the NHL as Tampa forces Game 7. Hi, Luis. You're on with the Spaceman. It's Talk Radio for Guys, Mojo Radio, AM 640.
You talking to me?
Yes, I sure am, Luis. Lewis, sorry.
Yeah, I called you before.
Okay.
The W's, remember the W's?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The Sears Tower, Chicago.
Yeah.
You know, I've been feeling for a long time. I've been waiting for June for a long time, actually.
Uh-huh. It's a pretty hot month.
Yeah, and I've been actually waiting for 6/11. We talked about that before.
Right.
9/11, 3/11, maybe 6/11.
Could be.
And you know,
7/11 has been shown to us lately.
Yeah, that's right. Tenants are leaving.
That's absolutely correct. Can I just quickly go through the numbers, Lewis, before you head off to the Sears Tower in Chicago? CIA Director George Tenet's resignation becomes effective July 11th. July is the 7th month. That's 7/11. It fits in nicely with the 9/11 sequel the Bush boys have been setting us up for, and 3/11 in Madrid. You know where Tenet's appointment was, when it was to the CIA?
No.
The 7th month, 11th day of 1995.
Wow.
So he started on 7/11/95 and he ends on 7/11/04. And that is exactly to the day 7 years.
Wow.
To the day. So I don't think it was just a, spur of the moment, gee, I think I want to get out for personal reasons. This has been planned for some time now for George Tenet to be unloaded.
These people are just amazing.
But it wasn't. It wasn't going to be just whenever it was convenient. It was according to the 9/11 sequel numbers. Go ahead, Lewis, about the Chicago Sears Tower.
You mentioned the address is 233, the towers.
Yes, it is. That's South Wacker Drive, yeah.
Okay, and I've been
33.
racking my brains over that one. I've been trying to connect the dots. And I don't know, I realized that if you multiply 2 times 33, you get what?
66.
Right. And of course, if you multiply 6 times 11, you get
66.
Right. I thought that was pretty well a connection.
That is a, I know, you could work for the...
So you see that 666 is their zip code, and 2 times 33 is 66. Very interesting insights.
If in fact you've hit on the Illuminatis.
I don't know, I realized that if you multiply 2 times 33, you get what?
66.
Right. And of course, if you multiply 6 times 11, you get
66.
Right. I thought that was pretty well a connection.
That is a, I know, you could work for the Illuminati doing their numerology.
Yeah.
You're not bad at it, Lewis.
Well, thank you.
And I wonder if, in fact, you've hit on something.
Yeah.
47.
You may have. If you are an infrequent listener,
Number of silver.
Space on Talk Radio for Guys,
47.
Mojo Radio, AM 640. I did do a show on the Sears Tower.
That's right, you did.
999.
I also brought out the Led Zeppelin information that goes along with that, where there were some, I felt hidden messages in the Led Zeppelin songs that really pointed to a terrorist attack in Chicago. Not necessarily the Sears Tower, but the city of Chicago itself.
I think 233 is just a pinpoint. It doesn't likely just mean Chicago, but, God forbid, but it seems like to me.
And New York has been rumored for another attack. Also, the Congress building in Washington, D.C. has also been been tagged in one of the rumors that it could be. But one thing is for sure, and we think that there is another attack that's coming, and it's coming soon, and it could be this month, and that's why you've been kind of waiting for.
So just to show some of the other numerology in this building, right? You got 1 and 4 is 5 plus 5 plus 1 is 11. So you always have an 11, right? I think here too, or no, 13. 4 and 4 is 8, and 2 is 10, and 3 is 13. You got is 110 stories, but you really have 11 there. So you see, they always put their numerology into everything they do.
To roll around, right, Lewis?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't hope for anything to actually happen, but if something did, you would not be surprised.
Not be surprised. Oh, you want another mind blower?
Sure.
I've been telling a couple, not a lot of people. I've been telling people for months that the last place I want to be on Earth is Chicago on June the 11th of this year. And my wife comes up to me a couple of weeks ago, and she goes, "Guess where I'm going? I'm going to Chicago."
Why? Does she go there often?
No, we don't. We don't go anywhere that often. No, it's a church thing.
Uh-huh.
It's a church conference.
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying to talk her out of it. But anyways, that's another story. And can I
Wow. And you've been waiting for the month of June, and then all of a sudden the closest person in your life tells you that that's where they're headed on that particular date.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really going to try your faith and hers, Lewis.
You better believe it. So we're working at it. Can I just to tell you something else about 2004?
Certainly can.
We talked about the letter W a long time ago being a wild card.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I also believe that the number zero is a wild number. Like the letter 0 looks like a certain number. Like 0 is 0. It looks like the letter O.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's also a complete 360-degree circle. Sun worshippers use that symbol all the time.
Okay. But the letter O is the 15th letter of the alphabet. Mm-hmm. And I think they interchange these things, letters, numbers. Mm-hmm. Of course, we have 2004, 2 plus 4 equals 6. The letter zeros, you could interchange them for the letters O's if you like. I mean, that's just food for thought.
Sure.
You see what you get out of that, right?
You bet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. 2 plus 4 equals 6. You could interchange the zeros to O's. That's 6, 6. Just another interesting.
Numbers are black magic.
And if you look at the Olympic symbol, you have 5 rings. Rings to me represent 6, and they form a W. If you notice that.
That's interesting.
Anyways, we could go on for quite a while more, but
Sure can. Once we start getting into logos of corporations, that is one incredible subject.
Absolutely. Toyota, look at the Toyota logo. It's 3 rings.
Right. That's right. Look at the car, the Saturn. The Saturn, that's another name for Satan.
Okay.
Look at the Mazda motor. Mm-hmm. From the sun worship god Mithra, and the Mazda car actually has a rotary engine in a circle, 360 degrees. Mm-hmm. The sun again, the circle.
Absolutely.
I mean, and it's just incredible. If you want to get into it, and I'll do a show on logos of corporations and the sun worshiping feature. Single one of them. There is not a corporation that they have not marked that they do not control and own. Thank you, Lewis.
You're very welcome.
All right. It's the Spaceman on Mojo Radio. Talk radio for guys, AM 640. Lewis is hung up. There is a line open at 416-870-6400 or star 640. Hi, Otter. Go ahead.
Hello, Spaceman. How are you?
Good, thank you.
God bless you for having your show. It's terrific. Just wanted to give you a heads up on something that I picked up on the internet. It's about a possible, there's some talk about something out there beyond planet Earth, like an asteroid.
Planet X.
Right. And
they call it Planet X.
Yeah, whatever it is.
And X is the mark of Cain.
Of course.
It's like a cross almost.
No, they're not telling us about it. And it's funny because there's a
Hey there, everyone tuning in. Thanks for watching. Jerry, I appreciate it. Jerry Brennan.
an observatory in Australia called Project Wormwood.
Right.
There's been a lot of activity around there, and the Vatican, for some strange reason, even though it's located in Rome, has an observatory in Arizona. And the claim is that they are interested in natural science. Well, apparently they've been very busy lately. So there may be something on its way here. Of course, they're not telling us about it because, of course.
Well, that seems to be the chatter on the internet, and I'm very suspicious of.
Could be a distraction too.
Yeah, I'm very suspicious of anything outer space that's going to come down here and say. Take us to your leader, or hit us and knock us off our axes and change our weather and things.
Well, that sort of thing, the ET is going to be a hoax. I mean,
oh, definitely. That is the last card the Illuminati will play before the Antichrist.
Oh yeah, people will be terrified, and of course they'll fall into line.
Right.
One thing I want to just say quickly was
von Braun knew about that, by the way, and wrote about it.
Sorry, who did?
Von Braun, Werner von Braun.
Okay.
German rocket scientist that NASA picked up.
Okay.
The Second World War. He actually told one of his workers that, or one of the guys he was working closely with, one of his associates, that the Illuminati would be mounting this hoax of UFOs in the final times before they actually bring about the Antichrist and reveal him.
You probably know about the letter that I guess I won't get into it. I'll tell you some other time. But I was going to say, I encourage your listeners to not do anything that will track their movements. And I like to use cash. I never use a debit card. I certainly don't want to use some sort of a new product that's being advertised out there that lets you...
and if you are cashless, danger...
well, of course, then they'll know everything about you. And this isn't just money. This isn't just...
Okay, I just want to give a tribute to this man. Serge Monast. He's French-Canadian, I believe. Right? Canadian, Quebec, Canada. There you go. Journalist, French-Canadian. Poetry, conspiracy theories. And why did he pass away in 1996? Because remember, when I just looked this up, 1994, okay, Project Bluebeam comes out, and I learned about it then. Fake holographic in the sky put out. Now look at the drones they can put up with images of lights and stuff. You can do so much more to confuse the people. You got whales swimming through the sky at the U2 concerts. So this man right here, Serge Monast, brought this, courageous man brought this information to us. They took out him and his family because he was letting on to what the New World Order has in store for us. Werner von Braun, NASA's developer, and that's what they're talking about right now on A View from Space.
Your debit card, but this is also things like, I went to a video store about a month ago, and they got my name, which they have to do, but they also wanted my picture. They took it, so I told them to please remove it, and they did, of course, but it's amazing how much information
they will take from you if you'll allow it.
Well, that, in my impression, my very distinct impression is that, I must be uncommon when I ask them to do that or when I refuse. So I would really encourage your listeners to say no, because the harder it is for these companies to simply take the information from consumers out there, the more expensive it is for them. Perhaps it will delay, this type of...
Quick story that reminds me of, I just went to the Blockchain North or Futures Blockchain Conference. I did some videos on that in Florida, near Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, Florida. And when I went there, I had to, go into the States. So of course, when I came back, going there, they had you go through customs and then go or security and then go and put your face in front of a camera before you walked up to customs. And I was like, don't they want to take my passport and look at it? And they just put me in front of the camera. And I was like, what? And I didn't realize what I was doing, but the camera's looking at me, and now it has facial recognition of me no matter where I travel throughout the States. Probably if I go, I never want to travel through there because of not only customs and patting you down. If you don't want to use that stupid machine that x-rays your body, you can ask them to just do a physical one. And anyways, they're not trained, or if they're idiots, then they just keep you delayed or whatever. So makes you not want to travel. But at the same time, if you do, they're just gearing you. And when I went up again to give my ticket to get onto the plane, instead of the girl looking at your passport, your boarding pass, and then letting you go, she just said, look at this camera again. And I was like, I just did that. She's like, yeah, I know. I don't like it either. And I was like, So why don't they verify with a human being looking at your passport, your boarding pass, and your face and saying, okay, thank you, welcome, right? So they're getting people out of the position of being the authority of verification and letting this stupid computer's camera that looks very invasive. And what is it taking a picture of? What kind of technology is in there to look in my eyes and see like everything? Who knows? So just thought I'd share that with you, because this is 22 years ago, and they're talking about them taking our information whenever they can. And that was without my permission. And then my next step is like, if you go through that, to say, can I bypass this? And you have me physically look at my passport, my boarding pass, and look at my face, and then let me on board. Just ridiculous.
I agree absolutely and totally with you.
Or give them false information.
I really do.
Yeah, give them the wrong information. Like, don't give them your birth date. It seems now if you want to sign up for anything on the internet or to buy something over the internet, they're asking you 101 questions. And I simply won't give them the correct information.
Yeah, it's like giving the enemy the bullets to shoot you with. Sooner or later, they're just going to, if you go to a store now and buy something that's got an RFID in it, a radio frequency identification, they can follow you around where that thing goes. What have you got in your medicine cabinet? What do you watch on television? What sites do you go on the internet? How much gas do you use per day? What do you eat when you're hungry? What do you do when you go in the dark and you're by yourself?
Well, let me add one further thing. By the way, there's RFID tags. You can microwave them and destroy them that way, but that's not going to do it for everything. I mean, you can't microwave everything. But they're going to get to the point where now this, I think a listener or a caller a couple of weeks ago called about the fact they're going to now start using telephone lines as a kind of a large-scale I guess they're going to try to just deliver your internet through your electrical system. And the consequence is that the whole electrical grid is going to become a radio receiver, I guess. And guess what? Regular radio that we all listen to, especially shortwave, is not going to be possible, including ham radio. And the bottom line is that they're going to know everything that you listen to, because in the future, your radio reception is going to be over the internet only. Anything you read is going to be done through the internet. Anything you do,
and the search engine. When Microsoft comes out with Longhorn, they're going to call it Longhorn, their next operating system. It's going to be connected to the internet constantly, and also it will have its own search engine. So they will have their version of the truth on it.
Sure. Well, these are dark times, aren't they?
Well, you keep the faith, Otter.
Yeah, that's right.
Thanks so much for the call. This is Spaceman on Talk Radio for Guys, Mojo Radio AM 640. It's 416-870-6400 or star 640 if you dial quickly. You might be able to get in. There's one line open before the show concludes in 11 minutes or so. This is a view from space on Talk Radio for Guys, Mojo Radio AM 640. On 640 on the Spaceman. I just want to read this one email. And I got a lot, and I thank you for the emails that I do get at spaceman@mojoradio.com. But this one, I've got to let you in on. Metcalf writes, Gary, several shortwave radio shows have in the last few days been saying a meteor or a staged meteor event is about to happen, including James Lloyd and others. A coordinated worldwide military response would be enabled to control the panic that might ensue at this threat. And he says, however, if the sky darkens and the stars appear to fall from the sky, I still know my salvation is secure. I wonder if most of your listeners do. Thanks for that, Dave. And this could be what those happenings are at surrounding Puget Sound, or around Seattle, in that Seattle area. A staged meteor event. In other words, a man-made object hurled at the Earth. Very interesting. We live in incredibly fascinating times. John, you're on. Spaceman, Talk Radio for Guys, Mojo Radio, AM 640.
Hey, Space. Maybe you can help me with something. I went to Quebec last week. On the way back, I noticed a couple of flags that had blue bars running down the red part. Now there's the two red rectangulars, the white, and then the maple leaf.
We have the two red bars with the maple leaf in the middle.
Yeah, well, there's two blue bars next to the red.
On the inside or the outside?
Inside.
Inside.
Yeah,
next to the red leaf.
Yeah. And I thought it was just a couple of gag things or whatever, you know, like some people showing their support for the States. But during the ceremonies for D-Day, the ones prior, there was actually a regimental guard that had that flag. I've never seen it before.
I've never seen the swastika and the Union Jack and the American flag in one D-Day celebration. Well, commemoration. But I saw it this year, and Schroeder, the German chancellor, was asked for the first time in history to go to this. It was incredible. It now looks like the Illuminati has gathered together their combatants of World War II and are going, we're buddies now. Because after all, the Illuminati did start the First World War, did start the Second World War, and they're about to start the Third World War soon. Thanks for the call, John. Spaceman on Mojo Radio, Talk Radio for Guys, AM 640. Hi, Graham.
Hello, George. Thanks for having me on. I just wanted to mention a couple of things that I found were very strange, and then when I heard your show tonight, I kind of connected the dots, so to speak. About a month ago, there was 4 alleged terrorists arrested in Washington, D.C., and they checked their ID, and they had alias names that were professing to be Arab, Iraqi, and it was on 680 News. And this is a strange thing. They checked their ID and their backgrounds, and they turned out to be agents for Israeli intelligence, and they were carrying bombs. And
oh, lo and behold, Israeli intelligence agents, Mossad. We have 2 minutes more to go in this A View from Space show. Learning the truth, and the truth will make you free.
Bomb equipment, and it looked like they were going to start some kind of explosion
in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, and this is kind of interesting because I'm kind of wondering, you see, this supports the theory that to be the knight in shining armor, you create the problem you solve yourself.
Graham, this is a problem reaction solution that you're on about right now. I don't know if you've just gotten onto this. If you've never listened to A View from Space on Talk Radio for Guys, Mojo Radio, AM 640, I bring it up quite often. Problem reaction solution is exactly what the Illuminati uses to implement their solution. They create the problem. Let's just take guns, for example. They want to get rid of guns, so what they do is they flood the streets with guns.
Right.
Then they drive the price of drugs way up high. The gangs start shooting one another for the coveted territory. And once the people can start saying, look at all this gunplay, we've got to do something about guns, they get the desired reaction from the people. And then they implement the solution that they wanted to do in the first place. Then they drop the drugs price, and everything quietens down again.
And just another thing I wanted to contribute to just what you're saying.
Sure.
They arrested 2 guys for credit card fraud in the, I think it was Royal Bank. And what they would do is they would set up an apparatus inside the slot where you put your cards in, and they would put a camera on the top of the ceiling, so that when people use the Instabank machines, they get their number, and they turned out to be two agents of Israeli intelligence.
Now, I just want to make one thing clear before this broadcast ends, that the Jews are not responsible for these things. The Mossad, CIA, MI6 in Britain are all party and are all men that are working for a global entity, a one world government. They are not Jewish, they are not American, they are not Russian, they are elitist globalists. They are Illuminati. This is Talk Radio for Guys, Mojo Radio, AM 640. Coming up next, Coast to Coast on Space on Out.
So do you see that? False flag terror attacks got them into the 6-Day War. The attack on the USS Liberty by Israeli forces occurred on June 8, 1967, during the 6-Day War, a conflict that began with Israelis' preemptive, right? Always preemptive. Oh, I gotta preemptively strike you in the face before you punch me, maybe in the future. I'm not sure, but you do have the potential to do it. So I better go strike you right in the face right now, punch you, give you a little wallop right in the face before you punch me. Well, I don't know if you're going to do it, but if you do, because you do have the potential to do it. That's the theory. That's the premise that's taking place with these preemptive attacks, right? So if you want to study history, look at 1967 Six-Day War, which is who was in that? Who's in the Six-Day War? If anyone can answer down below. I don't know what I'll do for you. Give you hip hip hooray. That guy was. I'm pretty sure. 1 second as you study this Ashkenazi Khazarian barbarian. So if you look into his military service, there's a lot of history. Where's his military service? So are we getting to see the picture here? These guys work for the same camp at the same time. Maybe Trump's walking a fine line, I don't know, but Jared Kushner, a volunteer, is his son-in-law and his handler at the same time. See that? From 1967 to 73. So was he in the Six-Day War? He got his first, being the first time out in the military, and yeah, let's go to war. And his son is supposedly living in Florida in some villa, enjoying the day under the nice, beautiful sun while his father's blowing up houses and civilian organizations. And this guy's not even real Jewish, right? He's Khazarian barbarian. That's why he doesn't allow blood tests, right? In his own country. Operation Isotope, rescue hostages, always about rescuing the hostages. The same old problem, reaction, solution, still taking place up to today, October 7th. We know the Mossad, not real Jews, were put into that to create problem, reaction, solution. What did they do? They did it to the USS Liberty. It's now known. Oh, now they say they accidentally shot it down, maybe, or sunk the ship. Always preemptive, false flag terror attacks. To then say, we have to go in. We have to protect ourselves. We have a right to exist. So, 1967, he was an IDF. Same year, the Israelis get caught for the USS Liberty, sinking that and saying the other guys did it. So I hope you enjoyed your history lesson for today. I'm going to get going here before I keep coughing myself away. But look into the history of this USS incident. See how they call it an incident? Can never take responsibility for creating the wars and propaganda behind it all. So hopefully they don't put an RFID and everything, but it is going to be used for supply chain. And we know VeChain, it's on crypto.com, is also on, it's on KuCoin, it's on different ones. I'm not saying where to get it. I'm just saying that's on the UFC ring is always VeChain. XDC is also in the supply chain. And VeChain, I believe, is already working with BMW, so they can put an RFID system already onto every part so that it can start to diminish theft. And then they can check, tracking inventory and all that. There's so many positives to it besides the Orwellian system of continuous trackage. So check out Serge Monast give a tribute to him in your prayer, saying thank you, God, for this man coming our way. That's right. Trump is owned, right, by the money system. He's kind of like, blackmailed into it. That's what Epstein was all about. Blackmailing everyone with either power, control, or getting the dirt on you in some way. Saying we'll kill your family in some way. Like they did to Serge Monast. And if you want to look up another guy, they did that too. Just look up Gray State. Documentary that came out just before we went into our pandemics by this guy, David Crowley. Him and his wife were found dead in a Minnesota home alongside his wife and young daughter. Wow. Just watch the maybe I'll put it on right now for you. I don't know, but if you just watch, he didn't even get a chance to put out the movie, but the trailer of it is very telling in this FEMA martial law controlled society. Let me see if I can bring it up quickly. Give me a sec. Okay, here we go. So, that's a guillotine. He's pulling the switch. This is how it ends. Which I just went over. Remember, this came out before 2020. They want you to be all jabbery dude, not go out. Why did they kill him, right? Think about it. Look at what he just showed.
Last night I dreamt about how things were. I woke up here.
So gray state, right? Very, 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 very telling. So there's documentaries put out about this. And what's going on in Gaza seems to be gray state, right? Urban warfare, supposedly taking out Hezbollah in Lebanon, or Hamas in Palestine, or the Houthis over the Persian Gulf, or over there by the other way to get into, around Somalia, to get into the canal for the Egyptian canal. So if it's not one, it's the other. It's the same thing. But check out this gray state. Trailer, because if not, are we going to wake up one day we've all seen the pictures of Gaza, right? I don't know what they're showing there. So that's just a little bit, right? That's even way before. This is not even up to date pictures. But you just type in Gaza and you get demolition, right? Look at that. This is the most recent. I don't even have to say Gaza demolition or Gaza. So how can, we all be in peace and love and joy on this side of the world? Well, that's going on over there, right? Well, thanks for the new air conditioning system. All jokes aside, but seriously. Half the population is under 17. Why? Because you already killed the families, the parents. Like, this is nonstop. You have to leave your house, take all your essentials. What? Just your one little piece of information, if you're lucky. So if you're having a good day, you better thank God right now that this isn't going on here, wherever you are, in the guise of some terrorist cell being somewhere around underneath under a school somewhere, right? They'll say. Okay, well, I don't want to end this on dread and doom, but the truth will make you free. And as you rise up in your Christ conscioushood, you can understand that this stuff is coming to light for us to bring it to exposure, so that we can now finally come to true grips with our patriotism, nationalism, whatever you want to call it, and understand that you have to stand up for each other and not wait for anyone else to do it for us. Buy land, have friends, live amongst what you can off the land, and then what you can in what you've invested in some supply chain coins or something like that in the new QFS. Because basically through blockchain technology, they can't keep creating a voting system that is deceptive, right? So we can now verify where everything is going, every penny. Because I don't know where all the pennies go in Canada. They took them out of circulation, and now you don't know if when you're you just have to pay an extra cent. It's only an extra cent. Sometimes you're up, down one, or up one, depending. If it's 3, you have to pay 5. If it's 1 or 2, you pay 0. So what makes sense? Where do those pennies go? That's the true conspiracy. Watch the movie The Office, and it's quite funny about how they get pennies every day off the computer system through an algorithm and become rich. They get all paranoid. Very, very, very hilarious. But will there be something going on to bring in some sort of QFS ritual on a tower out there near you? Or did they do that already in September 11th? Check out Order of the Garter. Who's members of the Orders of the Garter? Let me just do it right now, because I just I think I know who it is, and I want you to know. So you can only have 24, I believe. Maximum 24. But look, Naruhito of Japan. Foreign monarchs were Order of the Garter. So they're all playing the same game, right? They're all appointed to these positions. Tony Blair. So they're not really showing you anyone else, but I think Prince William, and I don't think Harry has been allowed to be part of the Order of the Garter, but because he is, I believe, of the Merovingian bloodline, he might be the AC that comes on the stage as a political figure that says, yeah, I can help harmonize all. See, I know I'm of the people, and I am of royalty. I know how to be in the army, and I know how to manage a business. So he might get everyone on board. Prince Harry, and if you do his geometria, comes out to 666 when you look at his stuff, and I already showed you that in some other shows, and about that guy on YouTube, Ches or something like that. He's a very good decoder, and he can tell you how Prince Harry and all of his names comes out to 666. So I have a feeling Spaceman was always saying Prince William will be, because he was the 1001, I think, Knights of the Order of the Garter, or one of the other ones that are very high up. And 1001 is 11, so he could be the Antichrist as well, or it could be his half brother, because it's not Prince Charles, is not his father. It's a redhead Merovingian that was, I think, a famous tennis player with Diana. She was always a fan of his and be in the stands. So if you look into that, just like Pierre Trudeau, right, was not the father of Justin Trudeau. It was good old Castro. And if you look at the pictures, it just, you can't deny it. So with that being said, the Order of the Garter running through all the top bigwigs in even of Japan. And what's Japan going to be? The highlight of XRP starting up over there for liquidity. So that's just another hint how everything's connected. And we got the Willis Tower. Where's the Willis Tower again? And they always put their numbers, right? Everywhere. Right there, 666. And 2 times 33 is 66. This is the 19th letter. 19th in the tarot is the sun card, so they're sun worshippers. With that being said, Spaceman 2.0, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to let you go. And thank you to all my subscribers and those who definitely left messages down below. And if you'd like me to do a show on any particular topic or bring about the truth or the proof of whatever topic that incorporates into this, let me know as well. Leave a message. When it comes out, you can put a comment in, leave me a message. Silver was $150 Canadian not too long ago. And now it's back to 108, 110. So what do you guys think? Will silver keep going up? Especially when they need it for EV cars and all these data centers that are not being shut down across the planet. I showed you those, how those look like. Those look like exactly prisons. No windows. So just take a look at these pictures, compare them side by side with a prison. Prison cells. Well, in the US, the prisons look exactly like these data centers. So that being said, Spaceman 2.0, and I'm out.